Hi, Jackie here. I'm the Manager of Therapeutic Programming for AFA, and it is my pleasure to introduce Marnie Herlins, our art therapist and licensed creative arts therapist. Today's art class is called Cultivating Gratitude. So let's grab our supplies and make some art.
Hi everyone, my name is Marnie. I am a creative arts therapist and I am going to be leading you through an art experiential today. It's called Cultivating Gratitude and we will be creating gratitude jars. So all you need to get started is a container, some type of container. If you have something like this, for the sample, I used a Quaker Oats jar that had oatmeal in it. So this kind of looks similar to an oatmeal jar. It has a top and you can open it, and it also has a lid so you can close it when you'd like to. So I'm thinking about common household items that all of us have. So what I'm going to be using today is a tissue box. Sure, all of us have tissues in our home, and what you can do once you're done with the box is reuse it to create art with. So we can actually recycle the box and use it for our art project today. What I did is I cut the plastic out of the top just to make it easier when you want to drop your notes of gratitude inside. It will be easier access. Also, I just want to mention that if you have a mason jar, that's typically what you've probably seen. Maybe you've seen a gratitude jar before. Some people choose to use a glass mason jar, so that's also another option. And if you're using tissue paper, as we are today, it looks pretty nice. If you use the jar, you can put a tea light inside. You can even put a flameless candle, a tea light that's battery operated, and then you'll see some light coming through, which is a really nice effect as well. So we're going to get started with the art process. And before, I just want to mention our theme of gratitude. So gratitude can actually have many health benefits. So when we're grateful, our mood is improved. It can boost our self-esteem. We have more positive feelings. We may experience more happiness, and our mood is elevated. Also, practicing gratitude daily can help us sleep better at night and just improves our overall health and well-being, as well as our relationships. So when we share gratitude with others, can also improve relationships. So this project, I hope that you enjoy the art process, and I hope that you will use your gratitude jar after it's completed. So this is my first gratitude jar that I created using collage materials. So I cut out images and I started with an image of the beach. It was actually a calendar. So calendars are great for art making, to recycle the images and use them. So the beach image carries throughout my gratitude jar. And then I added other images on top. So I have words, I have images, all that are meaningful to me and relate to something in my life. I have a quote from a fortune cookie because I like to collect them. And I find that sometimes the messages are very inspiring and worth saving. So whatever you'd like to include, feel free to include on the outside. And I love how the top came out. I put getaways on top because I really love to travel and I love taking vacations. I think it's important to break out of our typical routine and do something different, explore, and just explore a new place, a new environment. And the top of the container comes off, and you can put your notes inside. Okay. So getting started today, the materials you will need are your container, whatever you choose to use. We do need glue. So I have a glue stick, I have some tacky glue, I have a hot glue gun, which really you don't need a hot glue gun. It's only if you're going to put something on your jar that is heavy, that has weight to it. So if you had marbles with the flat side that you wanted to connect to your jar, you might use hot glue, or if you're going to use twine, which is a little heavier weight, you could use tacky glue, maybe hot glue. But we definitely don't need hot glue. You can just use whatever glue is available to you. And also, if you'd like to have some glitter to embellish, you can use, these are glitter sticks, so they're actually glue and glitter together. And you might want decorative paper. Okay, so I have some of that. I pre-cut my words. So for this jar, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to use tissue paper, squares, and then add my words after. But again, it's up to you. You can paint your jar, you can collage it. That's up to you. And it's helpful to have a pair of scissors, but we don't need scissors. This is an optional item. You can tear your tissue paper, you can tear your magazine images, and then they have a really nice, interesting quality. The edges will just be a little bit softer than if we use scissors. So I chose these colors today because they look very spring-like, and we're just coming into the season of spring. Okay, so getting started, I already added some squares. I'm going to use a glue stick. And you want to apply your glue all over. Okay. And I like the glue sticks when I'm working because they really, the tissue paper is light and it just adheres right to your surface and very smoothly. You don't get any bumps. So it's nice to work with paper and using just, on cardboard tissue paper, and glue sticks work really well. So I am randomly placing these colorful squares down to create a pattern. There's really no order to it. It's random, and creating an abstract design as my background. So you can have fun with it, layer your tissue paper, and just be creative. Just go with the flow. Okay. Let's see, how's it looking so far? Okay, so this is what I have so far. I might need a little bit more glue. Some areas, so you can always reapply your glue. And if you find you need something a little bit heavier, maybe you want to use school glue or tacky glue or anything, any liquid glue, you could use Mod Podge, which is really great quality product to use as well. Okay, so as I'm layering, I'm finding to put glue under the top layer. Maybe I want some more blues. And what's nice is that the darker colors come through when you use the light color tissue paper. Okay, so I'm going to move to the next side. Move to this side. So again, I'm going to apply my glue. And while you're working, if you like to listen to music, put on something you enjoy, put on something soothing. Sometimes it's nice to just have some background music without words, where you just can just enjoy the music as you work. Or maybe you want to put on songs that you like to sing along to, and it helps you to get into the process, into the zone of being creative. So I think I want to tear some of my tissue paper as I go. Okay, to get some smaller pieces, some variation here. Oops. And if you have other items that you want to add, really the sky's the limit. Whatever you can find that you think would work for your process, please feel free to incorporate it into your art. Okay, so I'm going to add some more tissue paper, and then the next step will be to add the words on top. So layer this up a little bit more. Now, if you were using if you're using a glass jar, then you could definitely use the Mod Podge to put a clear coat on top as well. So Mod Podge can be used for glue, and it can also be used as a sealant, which you put right on top of your collage. Either it's magazines or tissue paper, and it works really nicely. For this process, I probably wouldn't use Mod Podge just because we're using paper on paper, and might be a little bit saturate the paper too much. We want it to maintain its shape and form. Okay, so this is my second side, this is my first side, and let's work on the top next. Some more lavender. Really enjoying the light colors. Almost up to our next step. Light blue. And some pink. Okay, almost has like a mosaic look to it. Okay, so there's the top. And now I just want to look. It's interesting because the tissue boxes all have a pattern. I always love looking at them. Sometimes they're a photographic image, and sometimes they're just a neat pattern. So the pattern can actually go with my gratitude container. Okay, so I think we're ready for our words, and you can always add, if you feel like you need to add some more, we can always add later, more tissue paper. Okay, so I'm going to glue on some words, and I'll read them to you as I glue them down. So the first words I'm choosing are inspiring individuality. And I know you can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm actually applying the glue on top of a paper towel. You can also use a piece of paper just so you don't get glue on your table. The next word I'm going to include is play. Play is important even as adults, right? So I'm going to add that word in. The next word is DIY, so do it yourself and craft. I always love finding new ideas and inspiration. And the internet is a great resource to share ideas and to find some new ones. Okay, so I feel good about the first side, and I will move on to the second side. So next, I'm going to glue down family, and family is very important to me. I am very grateful for family, and next, I'm going to glue down laughs to represent my gratitude for laughter. Next, I'll include furry friends for pets. I love dogs and I love cats. And let's see, and love. So love. And love next. Whoops. Okay, so interesting. As I work, I'm realizing, so this side is really about relationships and connections. Whereas the first side was more, could be more individuality and individual expression and exploration of, of the self. And for the top, or actually for the sides, I have some words left. Okay, so I found this image. I've been holding on to it for a really long time. It says universe. And I didn't know what to use it for, but I think today is the day. I think I'll use it today. And just thinking about being part of, the larger universe. I'm grateful for, my connection to something larger than myself, right? And so I'm going to glue that on, right? Just remembering that we're part of a large universe and a large community. We have small communities, and then we're really, as humans, we're really connected to so many people in the world. There's just this human connection and this humanness that we all share. So next I'm going to put travel. Okay. Put travel on top. And comedy. These are all things that I'm grateful for. And style. Thinking about not only fashion, but really individuality. And I may not glue them all down. Maybe I will save some for another project. Carrying on and thinking about resiliency, which also I forgot to mention earlier, having a daily gratitude practice can actually increase our capacity for resiliency. So to get through the tough times. So I'm going to include carrying on because to me it represents resiliency. Let's put fun. And okay, and the last one I'm going to add is choice. So it's always good to have options and choices, right? Some things beyond our control, but there's a lot that is in our control, and I think it's important to remember that. So I have completed my next gratitude. I'll call it a container. It's not really a jar, but it's going to contain the messages that I want to include. That when I think about what I'm grateful for, I'm going to include them in this fun container. Oh, let's see. So I've got universe on this side. I want to add one more. And let's see. So last, I'm going to add you. So thank you for sharing this time with me today. I hope you enjoy creating your artwork, and I hope you found this relaxing and fun. And thank you so much.